White power.
Hello, everybody.
I was waiting.
It's Dave and Adrianna again, and we're here at the movies. What the fuck? Oh my god. We're back here in the studio.
White power.
David
Jesus.
Duke is our friend.
For the record, my name is not David Duke. It's Hater Dave.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Hater Dave.
Hater Dave in the house. Got my lovely wife, Adrianna. And then we've got Tina back again.
All right. Woo-hoo.
After popular demand from our last video.
Oh, wow.
It's 17 views.
I was gonna say who demanded?
I know.
I
didn't
demanded
know.
because the videos Tina's in are popular.
Okay.
We noticed you get more views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Great. And I'm Jack Wolfe.
And then
I'm
Jack
David
Wolf's
Duke's cousin. All right.
All right.
You don't have on sunglasses tonight.
Yeah,
Mr. Wolf.
he's not wearing the sunglasses.
Nor
his mascot.
No.
Oh, what's up with that?
No.
Yeah.
Mr. Duke told me don't wear them sunglasses.
So as you
That's
can
true.
probably
Okay.
guess what movie we watched tonight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So yeah, we watched BlackkKlansman.
BlackkKlansman.
White power.
White power.
White power.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah,
A Spike Lee joint.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I could have used a joint when watching this movie.
I
It might
know.
have made it
Y'all
better.
Yeah.
I don't even spoken. I could have got high. Maybe I would have understood it more. 'Cause it was kind of like blemish.
Yeah, there were times where it was a little confusing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. So first, let's go ahead and talk about. I guess Adrianna, since you're my usual plot synopsis person, why don't you give me a brief plot synopsis?
It's about a black dude who goes to work for the Colorado Springs Police Department. And for some reason, he decides to call the Klan and pretend to be a white man and wants to join. They never explained why. He just
Not
looked
really.
at it. He just saw like a brochure or something and was like, oh, yeah, I'll call him up and say, I'm a white man and I want to join. So
Based off a true story, right?
yeah. So the police department has a harebrained idea and says, all right, we'll have you go undercover. For no reason at all.
Not none reason.
No reason. Okay, okay, you got a racist group, but they haven't done anything. And there was no credible threat, so I didn't see why, but okay, that's what they did. And then, hijinks ensues.
Yeah, essentially.
That's the basic plot of the movie.
Oh yeah, spoilers if you haven't seen it already too. We should have said that I guess ahead of time, but too late.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't spoil anything yet.
That's
We
good.
just
Well,
gave
we're
a
getting ready to.
synopsis. Yeah, so
The whole movie was a spoiler.
we need to put like the whole movie was spoiled.
Sorry, Spike Lee, but somebody had to say it.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
It
Wasn't that good.
It wasn't the best.
No.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get things started. Who wants to start things off with what they liked?
Don't start with me.
There's something.
Let's start with
we
you.
have to say what we liked.
Yes, think of something you liked.
I liked the woman Patrice. Is that her name?
Uh-huh.
I liked her outfits.
Okay.
I thought they were pretty cool. They were jive.
Alright.
Was it jive? Is jive a
Yeah.
good thing or a
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
thing? Jive. They were jive. Groovy.
I liked. All right, here's what I'll say. What I liked. I liked that they had potential for a good movie. Like the bones of the movie had potential to be really good.
Yeah, but why would you like just potential?
Well,
though?
no,
I thought it was a good movie.
And then the
You liked it?
Adam
I mean,
Driver's.
did they get good ratings?
I don't know.
It did, but that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Oh.
Adam.
Star Trek 5 got good ratings
Oh, it did.
from him.
Who? Who got? What was that again? What was that movie?
Nothing.
No. What was it said?
Anyway, what did you say about Adam Driver?
I liked his performance. I thought it was pretty good.
Thought she said Star Trek 5.
I thought Topher Grace's performance as David Duke was pretty funny.
Yeah.
There were some bright spots. The acting was pretty decent for the most part.
It wasn't terrible.
Uh,
Although some of the characters didn't do what
They weren't
like-
fully fleshed out,
Yeah, well, they didn't.
and they didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Some of the decisions they made.
Mhm.
Mostly on the main characters and like the police department's part. That stuff didn't make sense,
Yeah.
and they didn't
Yeah.
really flesh it out entirely.
Mm-mm.
Like, I don't know.
So, Mr. Wolf, what did you like about
Yeah,
the movie?
since you seem to say that you had a lot to like about it.
No. I just said I thought it did good in the box
Yeah, but you
office.
said
It was-
you
Well, what's your opinion?
I thought it was a pretty decent movie because it's based off a true story, right?
Allegedly.
So I'm sure
Loosely.
they cut out a lot that they,
Or they probably added a bunch because it was
Right.
probably just a boring story, and they're like,
Right,
"Oh, we
right,
got to
right.
jazz it up a bit."
Right.
Because real life is boring.
That's
I
a good
mean,
point.
look at this show.
That's a very good point.
What show? Is this a show
one.
going on?
So what did
I
you?
just thought you guys brought me here for the free drinks.
Wait, no, those drinks aren't free.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You gotta
What are
pay
you
for those.
talking about?
Let me get
You
out
gotta
of
pay for that.
here.
So what did you like about it, though?
I don't know. I like the whole storyline, the plot, the way it worked out. It, by looking at it, you can just about tell that it was a true story. There wasn't a lot of gun action, so I'm glad they didn't show all,
Bunch of shooting.
recreate stuff. Yeah, just make it up. Say, oh yeah, this really happened and this and that. So everything was toned down, and it seemed like it was more realistic with them not blowing up cars and stuff until the end of the movie.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, let them know.
But it did remind me of one movie. What was it? Robert De Niro was in. What was that one? A Story in Brooklyn or
A Bronx Tale.
A Bronx Tale?
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you were
remember
going for a vampire.
the
Brooklyn.
bad guys at the end tried to throw the Molotov cocktail out, and it went into the car and blew them up.
Yeah.
Same thing with these guys. The first thing I thought about is, oh, where's that bomb at? You know?
Yeah.
Where's that bomb at? One thing I want to do is I want to make sure I'm not around the area because I
Well,
don't know.
because she didn't follow. Well, that's another thing
Right.
entirely. She didn't follow simple ass directions.
Because he did say that. He said,
He
"You
said, just
gotta
leave
see-"
it next to the building and walk away. That's all he
Yeah.
Yeah,
said.
he didn't even tell her to. Yeah,
He didn't say put it around the car or try to stuff it in a mailbox. He said just leave it next to the building and walk away. That's
Yeah.
all he said to do.
Yeah, here, let's
And
blow
she
it up
didn't even
now.
Do that right.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, man, before you pull that trigger.
Then why
maybe
would you send
find
the
out where-
dumbest
Dumbest
person
one,
in your
exactly.
group to do something?
Well,
Yeah.
they could have sent the little chubby guy, whatever, He would
probably
have
would've
probably
been
did a
only
better
person
job than
dumber.
her.
He would have got it right. He would have got it
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
But he would have left it next to the building and then just stood there.
And stood there, exactly.
Hey, what's don't
And
know?
send
Did
it
they
off.
tell me to run?
What am I supposed to do now?
What am I just supposed to leave it here?
Well, what did you like about the movie?
Well,
Yeah.
Not very much. Huh?
I like the afros.
The
Okay.
afro.
all right.
Afro.
I liked his afro. I liked his girlfriend's afro.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
that's it.
They had some
And
huge
that-
ones, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did not cut
That
back
was-
on that.
was it.
I want to put this in perspective. Tina, generally, I think you're pretty. You like a lot of movies, right?
Yeah, I do.
You. So, just to put this in perspective,
Hmm
that's the only nice things you have to say about this movie.
That movie, and the fact that the old man at the end that was telling the story looked like Harry Belafonte. Was
It
that
was.
him?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
Okay, I
him.
like that part. That's it.
That was him.
That's it.
All right.
That's it. I'm sorry, guys, but that was about all. And can we get on the dislikes? I got a lot of those.
Yeah. We
Adrian-
don't the likes.
I don't
Adrian,
have to be liked.
did you have any likes? Did we get you?
I said I liked the
Yeah.
girl's outfit.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Patrice's
That's it.
outfit, yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's all of the likes.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess let's start around the horn. Who wants to start things off with their dislikes? Just raise your hand.
Everybody.
I mean, it's
Don't
gonna be
everybody-
a long time. We
Dislikes?
just might as well knock it out.
There's not that many dislikes. I did.
All right, all right. How
All
about
right,
you, Jack?
we'll
Wolfe,
start with you
start
since you have the least amount.
I mean, like I say, the only thing it was just a little slow at times.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it was, like I say, based off of a real story, so they were trying to make it as accurate as possible. I'm thinking.
So you think, yeah.
yeah.
We
We
so
don't
I'm
even
thinking.
know anything about the actual story.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
So-
that's what. Yeah, because I was looking for it to be a little bit better. Since
Yeah, a
they
little
said it was
jazzed
a true
up.
story.
They had
Right.
a few little
Cause-
close calls, but they really wasn't really close calls. And then here's a Klan meeting going on,
Mhm.
and then there's a black cop running around the woods. Are you kidding? I'm sure he's got a gun. He's got all these cameras and everything else. I mean, even then, I'd be like, man, if you send me in there, it better be SWAT with me.
Yeah.
Never can tell. I mean, he just creeped up on him and just hid out like it was nothing. I don't think it's that easy.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah.
I think you're upstairs.
I
in the
think
wall.
I
Yeah,
dozed on
yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
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 Because he was twice, he was in the woods with the camera and stuff. And I was like,
okay.
Oh yeah, I did see that part when he
Yeah.
was watching.
That
That's
was
when
the
they
same
showed the
scene
little
where they were
five-
shooting them.
Yeah, they showed the little
Huh.
5 dummies on the thing and they were shooting. They was running. You seen that?
Yeah.
That
I
was
saw
crazy.
that part.
nah.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
lot.
this
It
like
was
this
really
goes to show how bad this movie is. I missed like maybe 15, 20 minutes of it, putting the baby to sleep.
Yeah, you
I
did.
came back down and I was still like, well, this movie is still dumb.
Yeah, and you didn't even have to ask what did I miss because
Yeah.
we all sitting around like,
Nothing.
well, what are we
not
watching?
much.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing
You
happened.
how many times you do that? You walk away from a movie, 15 minutes later, come back and just automatically know
Yeah.
it's what it's stay
Just
the same
still
spot.
just jump right back
Just-
in.
yeah, like
Did you want
done
us to
missed
rewind
nothing.
it for you?
Well,
Nope. I think I can figure it out.
Yeah, but for it to be a true story, the only true things I saw about it was the inserts of the actual footage that went on. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they didn't do too good with the plotting in the movie for me to pull me in to be about.
Yeah,
a true
well,
story.
if it is based on a true story, then the Colorado Springs Police Department's got to be the dumbest police department
yeah,
in the
exactly.
United
it was
States.
really slow.
Because they didn't, like, why would you put your police officers in danger
Yeah.
by forcing the black cop? Okay, so first off, the black cop
Mm-hmm.
calls the Klan, sets up a meeting with them, and then they have the white guy go in and poses him. Okay, so like you said, why would they
Early,
not have the
before the
white
show.
guy start talking to them? Why would they still have
Yes.
the black dude?
Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
make
think
Posing
the
as
main
him.
reason they did, I thought maybe because the black guy was a little bit more educated in what they wanted to hear.
But he can still tell them what
Yeah,
to say.
Because
He
if
could-
you notice, yeah, he was. He was telling him what to
he
say.
could-
He was always
Right.
telling him.
Yeah, but I'm saying they could have done
they
that
could have
over
done
the
that
phone.
over the phone.
Yeah, yeah. They
So
could have.
it's easier to do it over the phone because
Yes.
they can't see you.
Yes.
So it's like,
Mhm.
why would you?
What's the point of
put-
trying to hide the voice?
Right.
Mm.
I didn't get that.
That's
I thought that
a
was
stupid
dumb.
idea. It was
Yeah, it
incredibly
was-
stupid.
And then
It
he
was
was
really
really dumb for
crazy.
using his real name.
Yes,
No,
that's
that was
incredibly
really
stupid.
stupid.
Well,
That was
they
really dumb.
mentioned
That was
that.
really
You remember he
crazy.
mentioned it after
Yeah,
the
right
first
after he
call.
did it,
It's a
yeah.
plot
That's it.
device.
Yeah,
It's
but
I
what that
know.
is.
I
Yeah.
think it was something he just did just at the spur of the moment because he just picked up the
Right.
phone and just called
Right.
him. And the guy
He
on the
wasn't
phone
thinking.
was believing him, so he was like, so he had to think of something really fast.
Yeah.
And then he called himself in it, so now he got to try to figure out, well, what can we do to make it better? But it was still dumb.
I mean, if they
Yeah.
wanted to keep going with the investigation, they could have had another guy call up and say, "Hey," and,
Yes.
and have, use a
Exactly.
different name because they're not gonna know that the two are related or the two are
Mhm.
from the same
Yeah,
department.
But he
Exactly.
did that on his own because remember they were into finding out what the black guy was what
Yeah.
was going on.
Right.
And then when he came back, he seen that insert like you said, and he just went out on his own.
Right.
I think to try to get the pressure off the black people. So he did that to go into the investigation with the KKK, but
Yeah.
they didn't do nothing to be investigated. He was just going in there.
Right. That's like investigating the Girl Scouts.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Let's,
It
we
was
need to
stupid.
investigate them.
It's strange that they allowed him to open up an investigation just kind of on something cold because
Exactly.
there
There's
wasn't
nothing.
really anything happening.
Well, back then, anything goes. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
evidently.
Nowadays, yeah, you gotta go through a ton of red tape to start an investigation.
Bullshit.
Back
well,
then, it's like
no, but it's like, why
That was
would you?
crazy.
But it's the Klan. So I know that the Klan had, done some bad things, but
Mhm.
that particular branch hadn't done anything. So why would the police department spend money and resources
yeah, going into something
going
that-
undercover? It's not like they're just like gonna talk to them and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like doing having an officer come up and say, "Hey, what you guys up to?" They
Mhm.
actually, you have to spend time and paperwork and money to go undercover.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot. Even back then, it takes a lot to go
yeah,
undercover.
but they didn't have that.
And they had them taped up and had the all the equipment and stuff. That takes a lot.
Yes.
So for them to do all that and had like nothing to go off of, I don't entirely believe that.
Mm.
I don't think it happened that way. If it is a true story and everything in it is also true, I don't believe that it happened like that.
Yeah, that's why I said the only thing that looked like it was real to me was the inserts where they actually
Yeah.
showed the footage that was happening at that time. Other than that, I was like, oh, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
And I was really mad at that what's his David Duke? That's his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Yeah, when he did the black man asked him, well, how do you know you're not talking to a black man now? And he was like, because black people say, oh, rah, rah, rah. And he like calling us completely dumb. And then he said
Don't
they
forget about
love fried chicken. I took offense to that. Black people do love fried chicken.
And white
Why
people
would
love
he-
fried
like-
chicken
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
I like fried
Well, what
chicken.
did they know about that back then?
Mhm.
That made me really mad when he said that.
Yeah.
That
Well, that's
really-
the point. He's a
crazy.
racist, so
yeah,
he's gonna.
he was very racist
Yeah.
for that comment.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. It just wasn't a good movie. I
And
didn't.
then they build you up all that time during the movie to have that one little bitty explosion.
Right.
Yeah, nothing
Well,
happened.
Another
Yeah.
good part that I liked was when the bad cop sat down and near the end of the movie and was talking to him. Something told me, man, that's suspicious about them being as calm as they are, and he's running off at the mouth and
Right. This is the cop that assaulted her earlier.
Yeah,
in
and
the
I'm
film.
thinking, dude, are you nuts? I mean, I wouldn't be saying nothing out loud. And before I could do it, they snapped, and he was like, they were in there and made the arrest. I was
Yes,
like, what
I
an
think you
idiot.
missed that part, Dave. So,
Yeah, I was upstairs.
so
taking a
Patrice
piss.
and why you gotta tell the world that? Anyway,
You got-
Patrice
Because
and,
I had to take a piss break.
and Ron were in a bar,
Mhm.
and the racist cop that had arrested or harassed Patrice earlier in the movie, he comes in there and he's popping off at the mouth, and he's talking
Mhm.
about how he pulls over black people all the time for no reason because he can, and
Yeah.
he'll do it again, and
Yeah.
I think he threatened
Well,
him,
He
said he
said,
was
I
gonna
can
kill
shoot
him.
about
you
it.
now.
Yeah, I can shoot
Yep.
you right now, and
Not a
nothing will
damn thing
happen.
that happened about it.
And so Ron was wired. He had a
Yeah.
wire, so all the other cops heard him.
he was
so
like,
it's-
you heard this? Yeah, we heard
Yeah,
it.
And the captain came in
Captain
and
came
told
in
him,
and
said,
arrested him.
you're under arrest.
That's what he get, though.
But that seemed kind of like fan service to me. That
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
basically.
believe that happened in real life.
That's something they
If
just
anything,
threw
if
in
I
there.
was
Yeah.
him, if I was the white guy and did all that, I would have been like, I'm sorry, where was I at? Where am I at? Where am I at, man? All timers.
Yeah,
we
And, I
haven't
mean,
invented
But
that
I mean,
yet.
even if they did arrest him, I mean, he was drunk, so he can get
Yeah.
a good lawyer and be like, "Well, he was intoxicated."
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Yeah.
because he's white. He get away with it.
yeah.
Like he said.
hmm But yeah, I one thing that really bothered me about this whole film, the soundtrack,
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
is
Oh,
so
yeah.
annoying. Like
Where
the
did they get the music
like right,
from?
what is this music? Like it's like what is
I mean, he was spying on them, and they was playing upbeat music, like gospel music. or
yeah?
something.
Like what is
Like,
this?
clapping church. I'm like, wait a minute. He's supposed to be spying.
It made
Supposed to be
no
suspense.
sense. It made
No
no
suspense
sense.
movie.
No.
No music.
And they were trying to like have like dramatic music for like the moment when he saw what they were shooting at was a
Uh-huh.
black. And I was just laughing because the music was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It didn't make me feel
Like,
sad or
where did
anything.
they get this music
I
from?
was like, what is
It
this?
totally doesn't go with the scene.
No, it just sounds ridiculous. And
Yeah.
I know that's a Spike Lee thing. I don't even know.
Mhm.
Did Spike Lee direct this?
Yes. Oh, you reminded me of something else I hated too.
Oh, wow.
Those weird camera shots that he would use, like the fucking scene where they're just like moving,
They're gliding.
gliding
Yeah,
down
at
the.
the end,
What
Yeah.
the
out the
fuck
door.
is that?
But yeah, he used it one time though.
Yeah, but what the
Yeah.
fuck
No,
is
he
that?
doesn't. He
Yeah.
doesn't like
You know,
every
all
movie
new.
though.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
he
But
do
didn't
it
he
in all
use it
his movies.
multiple times in one of them?
No, he does it at least once. At least
And
once
then
in every movie.
The,
Like
the
almost every
scene in the
movie.
beginning
Now-
where the
Yeah,
dude's
that's how you know it's
speaking and
movies.
it's like the people's faces are just
Uh-huh.
popping up. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Or
It just
even-
takes you out of the movie. You're like,
or
I'm not. What am
even
I
when-
watching?
Even when they were talking about the different like exploitation, black exploitation movies, and they
Yeah.
had the movie posters coming up as they're
Yes.
talking
Yeah.
about it, I'm like, we don't
Who are
need to.
those people? Yeah.
I know who Jackie Brown is.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah.
see the movie
It's-
posters.
Yes,
Yes,
I don't need
exactly.
you to
I
explain
know who
these
Cleopatra
movies-
Jones is. Like it was weird.
Or
Exactly.
the other thing too is there's certain scenes where it's disjointed and you're confused as to what's going on. The scene that you were talking about where he's on the phone with the one Klan member
Uh-huh.
and he shows Adam Driver walking up while the black dude's on the phone with him.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, he's trying to trap him in this.
Exactly.
But no, it's because they shot it stupid or they edited it really stupidly
Yeah,
and
I was like, wait a
put the
minute,
scenes
how is he
together.
talking to him
So
and
it's
walking in
confusing
with
to the
same
person that's
time?
watching it.
Yeah.
Yep, that was confusing.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
stupid how he did that. That's
Yeah,
like
Spike,
literally.
you gotta get better.
That's literally one of the dumbest,
Right?
dumbest things I've seen in a movie.
Like you've been at the Spike Lee, you've been at this for like 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
You should know better by now.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna ask.
Politics
You should
aside,
have
the
this
movie,
down.
the movie's politics are very, 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 very heavy-handed.
It's
Spike
definitely
Lee.
one-sided. Yeah.
Yeah.
I expected that.
I mean,
Yeah.
he basically insinuates that Trump's a Klansman. It's just kind of like,
Well, racist.
yeah?
Yeah.
well, no, he because
Oh, he
you
is.
missed the you missed the stuff that they snuck in the movie with the because they
Make
kept
America great
yeah,
again.
like stuff like that. They would
Oh, he
sneak in
said
little
it.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's kind of that's a little far to because there's not enough evidence to really say that Trump's a Klansman. Would I say he?
I don't even think there's enough evidence. We're probably going to get kicked off of YouTube for this, but
Mm.
I don't think there's enough evidence to even say he's racist. I mean, he says some like politically
Crazy stuff,
incorrect
yeah.
stuff, but so do I, and I just equally hate everyone.
Yeah.
I don't just pick and choose. I just hate everybody. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what color you are. I equally hate you all.
Mm.
But
Or-
I don't
Damn
think
right,
he's. I
damn
don't think
right.
he's a racist.
That's right.
I mean, the
Yeah, I
other thing
agree
too
with
is if he was, why would he get rid of the mandatory minimums?
Well, we're
Mm.
getting into a political.
But yeah,
debate
that's
now.
a different story altogether.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
different story altogether. We'll get into that another time. That's a different show. But point being, the message is very heavy-handed and very biased.
Yeah, I didn't like at the end of the film too, where they were showing the clips from the different protests,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it was like, all right, this has really little to nothing to do with the movie. I get what his point was saying like, you know, Black Lives Matter and police brutality is still happening to blacks,
Mhm.
but police brutality happens to white people too. And I know this like, oh, but wait a minute, you know, that's not right. It happens disproportionately to blacks. Okay, but I don't think it's a black cop thing. I think it's a
Mhm.
cop people thing.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
you have some officers that, and it's not even a lot of officers, because if it was, that'd be a lot of dead people.
That's
if
true.
if all
Mm.
cops are going around just shooting people, it's just a few bad
You got some
apples.
bad apples. That's right.
Let's go out here for the record too. We're card-carrying libertarians, so we don't necessarily like authority in the first place.
I mean I don't, but I'm not gonna like lie and
No.
be like, oh, all cops are murderers.
No, not
Like,
at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Most cops are good people.
There's
they're,
good and bad in the
they
government.
exactly. They have families just like we do, and they want to just go home. Most of them don't even give a shit about their job. They just want to go
They
home.
just want to do their hours and go
They want to
home.
survive to the
Yeah.
end of the day. That's all.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's a negative. And the other thing I would say too is for a movie of this type, it's been done better. It's been executed better.
Mhm.
So as a black hero going up against the white man, there's plenty of movies that do this better.
Hell,
Jank-
Undercover Brother was better. And that was almost the same scenario. And that was like in the 80s. Did Spike
my
Lee do
God.
that one?
No.
No,
Okay,
no.
well, hell, that's what I thought it was. It was much better than this.
No.
So
Who did that one
I don't
anyway?
know, but it was much better.
a good example, Django Unchained is a much better executed version of this movie,
Mm-hmm.
where
Talking about white supremacists and
yeah,
Mm.
slave owners.
just defeating racist white people in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's a better version. Get Out is a much better version of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are like murderous black. Or
Point
white
being,
people, but
they made a
At least
villain.
it was action. At least it was some killing.
Well, not
about
just
the
that
movie.
too.
least there was
They
a
made
point
it-
to it.
They,
Exactly.
they made a
You went through this whole movie without knowing anything.
they made a compelling threat. Like I
Mhm.
never felt like like most of the Klansmen in the movie were a legitimate threat
Yeah, they
throughout
just
the
seem like
whole
a
movie.
bunch of.
because they seemed
Exactly.
stupid.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
they
So,
really
like,
portrayed him as being
Great
dumb.
point.
There never
Great
seemed like there
point.
was any real danger throughout the entire movie.
Oh, maybe those were Klansmen from the 2000s year. Because there clearly weren't Klansmen from way back when.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they weren't having meetings like that and just, I mean,
It's
there was
just
no action.
yeah. That's the other thing too. It lacks action. Like
Exactly.
the villains don't really get their comeuppance necessarily. Like you don't see David Duke get any comeuppance of it, other than
Well,
the,
because
the
he's
end
still
scene.
alive, so
But I mean, it's just stupid. That part stinks.
Mhm.
you don't get any satisfaction.
Yeah, there's no satisfaction.
No, it's not.
Because they ended up just the two guys ended up just killing themselves.
Yeah, they get blowed up on their own bomb.
So
Dumb.
it was like, well, all right, well, that's the end of that. And then after that happened, the movie should have ended.
Exactly. What?
But
Yeah,
it just
what was
kept
the point?
going.
It
I'm
kept
like,
going.
what else?
I was looking for something else to happen, but it didn't.
Right? And they were in their
Wow.
apartment, and there's a
Don't
knock
all
at the door.
Spike Lee movies.
An hour and
do
30
that?
minutes of movie and what? 2 minutes of blow up action.
2 minutes of action, and then
That's
like 15 minutes of nothing at the very end.
The other movie I was trying to think of that gets this better is Birth of a Nation from a couple years ago. What was that one with? What was that guy's
With
name?
Nat Turner.
Yeah, the about the Nat Turner slavery.
I
run.
didn't see that.
That's
Yeah.
that's a better executed movie than this, and it's not that's not a great movie either.
Yeah.
But it's way
It
better
gets its
executed.
point across.
Yeah, and
And
the
that's based
point
on
And
a
it's
true
not
story.
Spike, right?
better. No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's based on a true story too.
That's true.
Who does that one?
I'm
Oh.
trying to think of the guy. It's
You
the
got
guy,
the
the actor
tablet.
made it. The actor that was in it. I'm trying to think of his name. I think it was Parker or something. I don't remember the guy's last name.
Hold
I think
on.
that's his last name.
Mm.
But anyway, it's a
Mhm.
better executed version of this movie. This movie doesn't do it like it did a good job of evoking emotion versus this movie.
Mhm.
Like that's the big difference between this movie and those movies. Those movies pulled you in with
Nate Parker.
Nate Parker. I knew it was something
Different
Parker.
concept. This movie didn't.
But the main characters were compelling in those movies. The main characters in this movie aren't really compelling or
I didn't care about him.
yeah, I didn't care. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like they weren't charismatic. They weren't charming or endearing. It was just like he was dry, very
I
dry.
mean, what's the name? Ron? or no, Adam Driver's character. He was like the most relatable
yes,
Yeah.
because he was like, "Why are we doing this?" Like,
Yeah.
he was the only one that
Yeah,
really made
exactly.
sense. Like,
For what
question.
reason? What did they do?
Yeah,
Now, Birth of a Nation, was that a remake of another movie?
no, it's not.
it's
a
not a
of another
remake.
one.
They just used the same.
They
name.
used the same title of the
the 1915
19
film.
Okay.
yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, that one's the racist.
That's
like
the racist movie.
That's
Then
the one
there's
that's
the other
about
one.
basically the Klan coming up and just killing all niggers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They could-
Disclaimer: we're gonna say the N word.
they could have just. Okay, when you listen to the name, you say it BlackkKlansman. I thought
He was
it was
going to
gonna be a
actually
black
be in the
ex-
Klan.
Klan. Me-
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
My thing
And just
is,
and
they
be in
would've
there in
done-
the hood
Yeah,
and
I
everything
thought he
else.
was going to
They
show up in the
would've done-
hood and start shooting him or
Exactly.
something. I was like, all right, this
would've
could be
done
fun.
better. They would have done better by not making it a true story, making it a comedy, and making something like the Dave Chappelle
Yes.
and made him be blind and be in the black
Yes.
hat. That would have been probably a better plot.
That would have been
That would
better.
have been cool. At least we would have
Or
got
at least-
laughter off
At
of
least
it.
have him like you can still do the undercover cop thing, but have him in
Exactly.
whiteface.
Yeah.
Like have him paint
Or
He
himself
just-
up.
could be blind or something.
Just
where
have
he
him
didn't know he
showing
was a
up at-
BlackkKlansman.
Should have him
You
showing
know
up in the
what I'm
meetings with the hood on at least. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just have him sitting there and talking like a white person with the hood on and the mask and all that stuff.
I was
I mean,
looking for straight
that would have
action.
at least worked.
Yeah.
You know, give me something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
it was
did.
a letdown.
They pushed us all
Like
the
they
way up and
tease
just
you with
dropped
it in the
us.
trailer too. They tease you with it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they showed all those little action parts and
It's just
the
like
ride
it's just
parts
like
and-
what the hell?
Yeah, the trailer does let you down.
yeah.
That's
The
part of the
movie-
reason why we even watched it. We even bought it in the first
The
place.
movie always also let us down. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
maybe next time we buy it on bootleg.
Right?
Take that back.
Just
Take
watch it
that-
on bootleg.
Yeah, you bought the actual movie, so maybe that was a waste of your money, and I didn't even pay for it.
Or we'll just watch it as soon as we buy it and take it back to Walmart. Be like, this
I know,
disc was
this-
blank. Can I just exchange it for a
Exactly.
different movie?
I know that's how bad it was. Like I said, I don't want to watch that again.
No, what you do is you take a cat turd, put it in the DVD box, and then take
Like
it back.
this is what you had in
Wow.
the box.
This is
More
what was in the
exciting,
box.
more exciting than the actual film.
Right?
the
cat
oh,
turd.
wow, I figured out how the cat turd got in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, all
That's
around
bad.
just not a good movie.
Even the cat started meowing
I won't-
halfway through, like.
It's like, oh, how long is
Like,
this
how long is
movie?
this gonna- Can you feed me now, please? Even the cat
Did
didn't
you
want to
feed
sit
them
there
this
and
morning?
watch the plot.
That's another story.
That's
But
crazy.
anyway.
Yeah. So,
So, what's your star rating, Mr. Wolf?
go ahead.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
4
What?
stars. Wow.
Look at
4
her.
stars.
On a scale of what, 1 to 1,000, you
I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Okay,
Out of
that
5?
means-
I
that
would
means
give it
really
5.
low.
I would give it 5 stars, but I ran out of liquor when I was sitting at the table.
All
Wow.
right,
Wow.
so 4
Okay,
stars
nice
for
to
Jack
drink
and
Wolf.
watch a Blade movie like that and gives it 4 stars.
Whoa! Wasn't that a Spike Lee film movie? Right? Spike?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so he gave it 4
4.5 stars.
Oh, all because it's Spike Lee. Huh?
4.5
So I
stars.
take you trying to get on his good side.
You know what?
Yeah, he's trying to get Spike Lee to
You never
endorse
can
his
tell when he
trucks.
may
Yeah,
show up
yeah.
here and want to do a
What's the
movie. You know.
Wow.
I
He
don't
may
want
see
to
this.
fucking be in his shit.
Yeah.
Not like that.
How's
It be
he
in a real
paid?
action.
I want to
movie.
be in a good movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll be in there and say, hey, Spike, yeah. Can we blow up a little few
You
more
might as well do
cars?
another Jungle Fever Part 2. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jungler fever.
Jungler.
Something,
Jungle
yeah.
Fever Part 2.
Instead of jungle
Oh,
fever,
yeah.
you got jungle flu at this point.
So I know that's right. I know that's right. 'Cause he tripped on this one.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
High learning or something. It does something better than that.
Oh god.
Well,
So
I give
what-
it a 2.
A
A
2.
2?
Ah,
And the only reason I don't want to give it a 1 because I laughed a little.
I laughed a little. So he gets an extra star.
Just get an extra star because I laughed. That's right. Hey, that's it. No, nothing else. I give it a 2 because it made me laugh once or twice.
Okay.
And that's it.
What about you?
Oof. Yeah, I'll probably give it a 2.5.
Whoa. Okay.
wow, a half.
Get it? Yeah, it gets a half, almost 3.
You should have gave it a 2 3/4 or something like that.
3/4.
Coming from the man that gave it a 4.5.
Mostly, I'll give it a 2.5 because the story was coherent. So that, for the most part, it's not like a complete train wreck. It's not a 1 because it's not a complete train wreck. There's little things that are annoying about the movie. The acting overall is pretty good, so I can't really fault anything there. Most of it's just stupid decisions made by Spike Lee in the editing room and just the shot choices on some of the stuff. It's like bizarre, and just the way that they edited the movie together is the biggest complaints that I have. And then some of the character writing decisions are stupid too. But overall, the plot, generally speaking, makes sense. It gets its message across, which is it's a juvenile message, not juvenile, but it's a it's an overly simplified message.
Yeah.
And it gets it across, and it's not, it's not trying to be subtle about it at all. But for what it is,
the lowercase t.
But it's been done so many times. It's like, yeah, we get it, Spike Lee. Like, every movie he makes has got to be about racism.
Hey, remember though.
Do something different.
Remember they met God.
He did The Man Inside,
this
which was
movie.
about a
wrong movie.
bank
I'm sorry,
robbery,
wrong
but
movie.
it still ended up being about race. So I was just like, just stop
He's
it.
getting
Don't
old
he
too,
make
so-
any movies that's not about race?
I said he did The Man Inside.
He
The
didn't do
Inside
an
Man.
action movie.
The Inside Man.
Oh yeah.
But that was that.
didn't he
It
do that
still
one
made it
about
about race.
the black soldiers in World War II? What was that one called?
um,
Tuskegee Airmen.
no.
No. They're like
Denzel
saving
Washington
art
when he
and
was really
stuff.
young.
No, not that one. It's more recent. It's like 2003 or something like that when this came out.
That's the Pacific, right? The guys in the Pacific.
No, they were in Europe, and there was no. I think it was Europe. I thought, and I don't think there were
Red
any black
Tails?
soldiers in Europe. No, it's not Red Tails.
We'll think of it.
I don't remember what it's called.
But it's
But
about World War
basically,
II.
it's basically about a group of black soldiers that were saving art during World War II during the when the Nazis were in control of most of Europe, and I can't remember what the fucking movie's called.
Let me see if I can find it.
Nazis.
I
were
know
in
what you're
control of
talking
Europe?
about, but I
Yes.
thought that was they
Most
were
of
in the
Europe.
Pacific because there was no black soldiers in the
Or
Pacific.
maybe that's what it was. I mean, I'm confusing it with something else, but The Miracle at St. Anna. That's it. Yeah.
I remember that.
So I don't think that one's necessarily
Yeah, it's
as
in Italy,
racial.
Tuscany, Italy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
but anyway, that.
So then you saying that was the better one too?
No. I'm not saying it's better. I've never seen it. I'm just saying it wasn't.
It's not,
It wasn't
it's not
designed to
accurate.
be it's not as racially charged as like this movie and some of the other ones.
Oh,
Oh, it's based off of a novel.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I think of BlackkKlansman as being like a nice house that you see. It looks so beautiful outside. You go inside, it still looks a little worn, but then you find out it has termite damage, and you just have to destroy the whole thing and build it again. That's what this movie needs. It just needs to be torn down and rebuilt again.
Oh, great point.
It's got a good
Tore
outside
down and
exterior.
rebuilt
You
again.
think that it's going to be good. You think it's going to be something else, and it ends up being something
Crap.
totally different. And so it's like, you know what? Just tear it down. Just tear it
Just
down.
redo it.
1 star from me.
Whoa.
One
Oh,
shot.
shit.
Why don't you give it a 0.5, huh?
You know
Shots
what?
fired.
Do that.
Hear
The
that?
A
only-
0.1.
You
a
know, the
0.1.
only other movie that is worse than this to me is my all-time favorite worst movie.
Star Trek
it?
5?
Nope.
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield
Man
Earth?
of Steel.
Man of
Wait.
Steel. Man of Steel?
I hate that movie.
Are you kidding? I just saw that just the other
I
day.
hate that movie.
I never saw it.
I didn't see the end
I
of it,
see
but
Superman
I'm
movie.
just gonna and I'm just gonna tell
Okay.
you, don't waste your life.
Okay, I won't.
I will say this. I actually like Battlefield Earth better than this.
Oh, wow.
did you?
Yes, I do. But in fairness, I find Battlefield Earth amusing for others.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad on a different level than this movie, but it's so bad that it's actually.
But see,
entertaining
you
to
went
watch.
in. I think the Battlefield Earth is. You can't compare it to BlackkKlansman because you went into Battlefield Earth expecting it to be bad.
Yes, that's
Okay.
true.
So then when you when you found some good stuff about it, you're like, okay, it's not that bad. But
It's fine.
BlackkKlansman was the opposite, where you were kind of expecting.
That's
it
why
to be better.
community
Yeah.
just see Star Trek
You were
5 one
expecting-
more
I've
time.
seen
something.
Star Trek 5 like 8 times. I don't want
yeah,
to
we
watch it
don't
again.
Need to see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go on Facebook and even YouTube, and I'm gonna say, everybody, if you own Star Trek 5, please bring your copy, and we're gonna burn it in a bonfire. I'm gonna be like Nazi Germany
no, it's
with
like,
the
no,
books, and we're just gonna destroy Star Trek 5.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's it.
I can see
Said
that
the
somebody
N-word.
somebody
Boy,
a
you're
throw.
gonna cause some
Somebody
commotion on
will-
that
Not the
one.
will
bad, not the
throw-
worst N word, the second worst N word.
Nazi.
Somebody will throw a copy of Battlefield Earth, and David will be trying to get it out of there.
No,
the
not that.
pile.
one.
No, not that one. Save that one.
No, I'm just gonna go door to door and say, "Do you
Wow.
own Star Trek 5?" If they say yes, I'm gonna go in their house, take it,
Yeah,
and burn it.
No, I was gonna suggest that we set up a PO box for Jack Wolfe and just have everybody mail their copies to him since he loves it so much.
Oh, wow.
Take that.
I'll have like 50 all the copies of Star Trek 5.
A whole
Exactly.
a whole crate will show up tomorrow.
That's
There, take that,
crazy.
Jack.
Take it. We don't even want it in our house.
That was bad.
Yeah.
It
Really bad.
yeah, it was not the most enjoyable movie experience in my life. Yeah, it was. Oh, that was the other scene I forgot to complain about. I got one more complaint. The dance scene.
Hmm.
Like that took too long.
Oh, you talking
too.
about in the beginning?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
There was a dance scene.
Yeah, at the beginning.
That reminded me of the singing
That's when
scenes
she was
in,
asking you
Bad
about
Times at the El Royale.
if that's how it was in the nightclubs back when you were younger. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So.
Because you're old.
But I'm not that old.
I'm just gonna say,
there's Vietnam
Hey.
old, there's pre-Vietnam old, and then there's
Mr.
post-Vietnam.
Mr. Wolf, I'm just gonna say, we have antiques in the house, and you're still the oldest thing in this house.
Right.
Holy crap!
That's a good thing.
You're the wisest thing in this house.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Put it that way. That's
Wisest thing.
Close.
Says, yeah, you're the wisest thing. You wake up at around 2 p.m.
Hey, you worked all your life. You deserve to sleep.
Yeah, you can sleep in. You sleep with the cats because you have the same sleep schedule as the cats.
Wow.
Like, where's Delilah? Oh, she's taking a nap. Where's Mr. Wolf? Oh, he's taking a nap
In
Oh,
the same
Lord.
room.
in the same room.
Oh God.
So anyway, yeah, that's my 1-star rating for BlackkKlansman.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We have houses in the
Won't watch it
neighborhood that are older.
Yeah, don't watch
No,
it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, not
Watch
worth it.
BlackkKlansman. Don't listen to them. Make your own evaluation. Go out,
Oh,
get it,
yeah,
rent it.
completely
On
agree.
Buy
second
it.
thought, watch
Completely
it
agree.
and then leave some comments telling Jack Wolfe why you hated watching it.
Yeah, let us know what you think. If you have seen it or if you haven't, go out and watch it. You're right. Watch it, make your own decision.
Yep.
Don't listen to us. We're
Watch
just telling our opinion.
BlackkKlansman, then watch Undercover Brother, and then watch Star Trek 5. Then make a decision.
No. Please don't watch Star Trek 5.
All right. So for those of you who didn't watch our last video, what would that come out yesterday?
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we did put out a challenge to people who watch the channel. So make sure that you guys let us know which movie you want us to review in the near future. What were the choices again? We got them right here, right?
Yeah.
How they gonna let you know what movie?
In the comments.
Yeah, put in the comments what you want to
We
see.
had Time Bandits. What's that?
Days of
Days
Thunder.
of Thunder and Thank You for Smoking.
Yeah, so these are the movies that you guys can choose from. So make sure you let us know in the comment section which ones you want us to see. I would recommend this one for Mr. Jack Wolfe because his man crush, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Oh, you got.
Well, I think we should do a whole Tom Cruise week.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Because we got, I don't know why, but we have a lot of his movies.
And
He's
just
such a
some
fabulous
reason.
actor. That's
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he is fabulous.
and then
fabulous.
we should do a live
you
stream
know
where
what?
we watch Tom
Even
Cruise
if they
movies,
put
and every
him-
time he rides a motorcycle, you have to drink.
Even if they put him in
wow.
a
Yeah, we would be drunk by the end of the movie.
Here's the thing. Even if they
first
put him in
one.
a movie back in the 1800s, he'll still find a motorcycle.
Oh, wow.
You know what'll happen? What'll happen is there'll be like some kind of time travel thing for like 10 minutes where he travels in the future and he's like, oh,
Exactly.
wow, this looks like fun. And then he goes back into the past.
Yeah, and he's back on a horse.
That would be an interesting list off. We should do a list off of Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah. How many movies does Tom Cruise ride a motorcycle in? That's
Just
what I
top
want to know.
5 Tom Cruise movies now.
So, All right,
Actually,
well,
though, I did have an idea for a list off. I want to try to get this
Well,
shot.
well, go
okay.
ahead. Now
ahead.
I got another one.
Go, throw it out there.
Tom Cruise, he's been in at least one or two without the first one he ever made. Remember, was the unicorn. There's no motorcycle in that one.
yeah, the unicorn has wheels.
No, they're not.
He's a motor.
No, he's a motor.
A motor, that's right.
But that's
Oh,
that's the only one I can think of. Is now. What was his second?
The Mummy
movie?
doesn't have a motorcycle.
That was
either.
his second movie. His first movie was Cocktail,
Yeah.
He did Cocktail before he did.
the fairy movie.
No way.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
You want me to look it up again?
That is weird because he looks younger in the
Makeup does amazing things. Don't you see how young it makes me look? My mom look.
So he went from. He went from
Oh, wow.
I
Oof.
did not say that.
Oh.
He's not going to watch this one.
Hopefully.
That-
I can't wait till
Love you,
shots
Mom.
fired.
Bam!
Over the bow. I can see her now.
Gun, she
I
gonna
see her
come in
now.
guns
No,
She was
blazing.
she was probably
Guns blazing.
watching something else, and she was like, "What did she say?"
Hopefully,
Right? She was on her phone playing wordscapes,
No,
and she's like, "Wait, what?"
I know.
hopefully she's watching this with her boyfriend wherever they at.
Guns
and he-
blazing.
and he hears it. He's like,
Wherever you are. I love you, Mama.
Like, wait, how old you say you were?
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Wait, you
That
mean to
makeup
tell
is
me?
You told me you were
amazing thing,
36.
You mean to tell me that baby's not
Amazing
yours?
things.
That baby's your grandchild?
Oh, wow.
But yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, I want to try to shoot a list off while we're down here. I got a great idea for one.
okay.
We attempted to record this once before, but I want to do a did we do a top 10 or top 5 soft drinks?
I would say top 5.
I think we should do
Soft
that.
drinks,
Yeah,
Oh,
sodas.
well, I only got one in mind.
ginger ale.
But just your top 5 sodas. That's what I think would be a great list.
Mm.
Okay.
Especially with this crew here. I think we could
Okay.
definitely.
The
Now we
crew
get
of
the
soda
sodas. So
drinkers.
once we get the sodas out here and we
got
set
some
them up,
now?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
wait a minute,
say.
wait a minute,
I was
wait a
gonna say. I think we should do it where we test it, where we have like a blind
Oh,
test to see
yeah.
if we can guess which the soda
Oh,
is.
that'd
Yeah,
be a good
yeah.
idea.
and then we could add gin to the Sprite
No.
to
no,
see if
let's
we
not
can
do
test
all
it,
that.
and
Here
then
we go.
bourbon.
We'll just do that to yours
Yeah, just
and
to
see
yours.
if you can guess which alcohol is in it.
Top
Mm,
non-alcoholic
Ah.
sodas.
Yes.
That was not. That was tea. There was nothing in there. Give me the other one.
Right. That's just watered down.
So maybe we'll try to get that recorded this weekend. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
what
we'll
happens.
see. We'll see.
We
any-
won't get in no trouble for that though.
What?
You know, for having the
Sodas?
different sodas and everything.
All we
so-
got to do is say, like they say when the music, I'm not. What they say? I'm not copywriting. What they say?
I'm not endorsed.
I'm not endorsing this.
I mean, it's not against the law or,
I'm not
or
endorsing
copyright
this-
law because it's
this
not like we're
drink.
claiming the soda as being
Yeah, we
ours.
just put a piece of paper over the name. They wouldn't know.
Yeah, but we're not making money off
Anyway,
of it.
yeah,
Exactly.
the goal is to basically just tell everybody what our
Yeah, all
favorite
the
sodas
stuff
are.
They got on YouTube. Exactly.
Yeah, because people do that with restaurants all the time.
Mhm.
So anyway, anybody have anything to plug?
We just say we don't own rights to the soda
Um,
can.
Yeah,
What we
I was
should
gonna,
do- what we should do
I thought we were trying
is,
to wrap
can
the
we do
show
this
up.
at a
Go ahead.
restaurant somewhere? Bring our Zoom with us and
We could.
the cameras and everything.
That's not rude at all.
Yeah.
And we'll set up.
That's
I
not
mean,
rude or
can
distracting
we
at
do that?
all.
I mean, back in the back corner, nobody will bother us.
Why would you need to do that at a restaurant? Like, what's the point of that?
To get out, eat pizza or something, you know.
Yeah, but why we got to record it?
Exactly.
We can take our cameras and let's go.
I just
want to
see your point.
Let's go record it. I'd say we go out to a restaurant right now.
I
Let's
barely want to record this, and you want to record me eating too? Come on now.
Not to mention we got a baby upstairs asleep.
We'll bring her with us. We'll let her drive. Officer, let me tell you.
Y'all going by
Okay.
yourself. You letting her drive.
Okay, let me tell you, officer.
It's not like she can't reach the pedal.
That's right.
Right.
Even though we got her car seat leaned just forward where she can get on the steering wheel, everything is all right.
Be like, look, officer, we're all drunk, so you don't want us driving, okay? The
Did you
baby
ever
can
hear
do a
that?
better
Wow.
job.
Did you ever hear that story about the guy who got pulled over? His 7-year-old or
did.
something.
Yes,
She
I
was driving the
did.
car. He said, "I'm too drunk," and the 7-year-old was been driving. The
Yep, his
car.
daughter was driving. Yep, I did hear about that. So
Holy
anyway,
crap.
thanks for watching, guys.
Oh,
We're
who's
gonna
got
wrap
stuff
this
to
up.
plug? Go around the room. Jack Wolf, what you got to plug on your?
KC Wilson's Tech Lab. There you go.
All right,
Plug
JC
that.
Wilson's Tech Lab. Go subscribe to the channel. Check out the videos. You'll learn about some tech. JC Wilson's Tech Lab. Jack Wolf actually helped set up this studio. I don't think we ever did a video on that, but it's cool. He knows what he's talking about, so go check it out.
That's right.
Okay.
Adrianna, what you got to plug?
I'm still working on a show, but it's hard to do that with a baby.
Yes.
So I don't know when I'm gonna have my first video come out, but hopefully I'll have one come out soon.
Cool.
All
And
right.
check out Hater Dave's Sports Show here on the Jack Wolf Show YouTube channel. Hopefully have some new stuff coming soon, and also keep watching List Off, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to everything on this. That way you get every video that we put out, and tell your friends. We
And
have
if we
fun.
said anything to offend anybody out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're so sensitive.
Yeah, we don't own the copyrights of these words.
Yeah.
Get a life. Anyway, love you guys.
Peace.
All right, we'll see you next time here
Bye.
at the movies
At the movie.
Later.
with Dave and Adriana.
At the baby
Big
better
dog.
movie.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Can't see your hand.
Did you stop it?
You gotta go there. Nope, we're still recording.